Yes, people, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV for this match review to the Leicester game yesterday. 3-1 win, 3 wins in a row for Chelsea Football Club. Have we turned the corner? Is the big question here. Have we turned the corner? Lots to discuss. Graham Potter, his decision making in terms of setup, systems, management in between games. We'll be talking about that. We're talking about some individual performances to yesterday's game as well. I was at the game yesterday as well. So I've got a couple of videos to show you guys, like clips and stuff that we'll be going through as well, which we'll probably start with, So please make sure you're smashing the likes, subscribe to both Chelsea Fan TV and GNA TV. Lots to get into, panel to come later, match ratings, loads, just the usual stuff. Just loads to get into. Get comfy, get some snacks. It's lunchtime. It's lunchtime, guys. So go and relax. Sit in front of your TV, your laptop, your phone. Get some snacks, chill, and enjoy the show, guys. Let's cue that intro. People, welcome back to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV for this match review to, obviously, the Leicester game yesterday. A game that I went to. First game back from a long 2-week holiday for me. Nice hour and 50-minute drive up to Leicester. Wasn't too far, can't complain. Optimistic, as I was when we done the match preview. Optimistic that we could go and obviously get the win. And we got the job done. Lots to talk on still. Obviously, it's only 3 wins. I understand that we have to appreciate it is only 3 wins in a row. But when you think about how much this club's been through and the kind of results that we've had up to this point, then, I don't see why some Chelsea fans should feel slightly optimistic. Doesn't mean we're going to win the league. Doesn't even really mean we could get Champions League, even though there might be a slim chance. There's a lot... There's a lot to look at and go, right, what's the difference? Why are we playing in a certain manner now? How comes we're all of a sudden looking a little bit better? What have we done? What are the differences? We're going to talk about all of that. I'm going to get into that. And in between that, I'm going to share with you guys some just video clips that I took of going down to Leicester as well, which we're going to sit and go through and highlight as well together. So I hope you enjoy this. That's going to come on in a second. But let's say hello to everyone in the chat. Over 50 people in the chat already. Big up to every single one of you that are already here. Smash a like, please. Subscribe if you've not. Hit the thumb as well, please. As well, would appreciate it. Chilwell, is he back? I mean, it was just sweet to see him score against these, his former club. And it was a great goal. And let's just also clarify that. They were great goals. Every single goal that Chelsea scored yesterday was just beautiful. Scored 3 goals, something that we've struggled to do in a little while. But we scored 3 tasty goals. One from Chilwell on the volley. One from Havertz, again, caught in the air over the head of the goalie and in. And what a pass by the masterclass himself, Enzo Fernandez. What a pass it really was. And then on top of all that, you've got the finish by Havertz Kovacic, which again was great build-up. But outside of the right foot of Enzo Fernandez over the top to Havertz, who had again a good game, cutting in, lobbing the ball over the top to Mudryk, who heads it across the goal. And what a finish by Havertz Kovacic to make it 3-1. I can tell you something now. The fan base, the fans in the away fan, were immense. And the one thing that I've noticed, even though I wasn't at the Dortmund game, but I could just feel it, around, was the difference in energy by the fans. And the energy then got picked up by the players, and the players then held their performances. So it goes to show how important the fans are, to what we do, to helping the team get across, especially with the problems that we've got. Oh, Matty, just be happy that we won a game, mate. It doesn't mean you have to support Potter. Just be happy that we actually won, mate. Steve, big up to you. Santiago, big up to you. Corey, big up to you. Still, it's only 3. Obviously, it is. I know that. Still got to talk about it, bro. Chelsea's next 3 league games are home. Need to take full advantage take at least 7 points from the 9. Big up to Steve. Big up to Devin. Havis is in the house as well. CFC Pez, Lord, nice to see you. Nearly 100 people in the chat. LOLO, PSG, and what was that horrendous outfit yesterday? What are we talking about? Coat. Coat that you can't afford. It's not my fault if you can't afford beautiful coats like mine. It's quite funny, actually. I was the only guy there with a white, pretty much cream coat. Everyone else had dark black puffer coats on. I had a white cream coat on. Big up to you, man. KF says, what a take. Well, listen, if you guys have been watching me long enough, you already know what I feel about Enzo Fernandez and why I wanted that specific profile player at us. And even when we had debates over Jude Bellingham and Enzo Fernandez, I told you guys, this is the ability of the player. This is what he'll give us, and this is what we'll do. And I'll be honest with you, he's actually playing on a handbrake at the moment because he's actually playing deeper than I actually want to see him. Once that handbrake's released of Enzo Fernandez and he can be even more effective moving forward, boy, what a player we've actually got. But the fact that he's doing it in such a deeper role, the interceptions, the passion, the hard work, the grit, the making the pass without even looking. The guy makes passes without even looking. And we're going to talk about him a bit later on because he deserves it and he's just class. What a game it was, Dino. It made me happy travelling down here, not going to lie. I don't think we get top 4, but with a favourable draw and if our first team stays fit on and on form, the UCL is possible, is what Hamza feels. He feels like Chelsea can win the Champions League. We got to Corey. Enzo Minerals Ferrari. Enzo Minerals Ferrari Fernandez. Ferrari Enzo for sure. Ferrari Enzo for sure. Yep, mate. Of course he is, you know. But I've got some videos to share with you guys. So we will get into the videos first. Keep smashing the likes. Let's get these likes up. Yeah, there's nearly 100 people in here already. 7 minutes in. Big up to every single one of you guys that have come through. He does. He celebrates like mad, you know. But it's not even just him. Like, there was a couple of other people yesterday that I wasn't aware of that showed a bit of passion. Wesley Fofana, another one. Every time we were singing, he sort of picked up from the energy, and you know, he just, I don't know, he gives me that sort of Rudiger vibe. Wesley Fofana, you know, especially in that performance yesterday. 5 points off 5th, 11th off 4. Who knows? With a bit of luck, maybe we can secure. And we're going to look at the Premier League table because it's not, that is true, but there is also teams above us that have still got so many games in hand. Newcastle, Brighton, I think still have 2 or 3 games in hand to go on and you know, and really kick on. So they could actually knock Liverpool and Spurs down if they win their next couple of games. But we're going to go through that a bit later on. Big up to Louis. Better Rich. I agree. But I don't want Europa League, Louis. We've got a 100% win record in it. And I don't really want to see us playing in Europa League next season on Thursdays. You know, I'd rather just not be in it at all. Do an Arsenal, skip playing any European football, and you know, go from there. I look forward to Gusto. Yep, I'm looking forward to the summer, mate. I'll be honest with you. Some of the players that we've got coming in. Mudryk, we're going to talk about a bit later as well. You know, the one thing I would say from Mudryk's side of things of yesterday, he's not a striker. Just isn't a striker. Like, we was asking him to hold the ball up, win balls in the air against Evans. It's not going to happen. What I wanted to see more from him was running in behind because there was so much space behind the defence, especially in the first half. He wasn't doing it. Sometimes plays with a handbrake, but when he doesn't play with the handbrake, we've seen it in glimpses yesterday. He plays the ball into Ruben Loftus-Cheek, which João Felix puts in the net, which was offside. You know, he took on 2 players in the second half, just dribbling and then nearly, I think he took too many touches, but, you know, he shows the ability, you know. I just feel like with certain players, they're just going to need a bit more time than others. And I think we have to appreciate that, you know. People were stressing about Kalidou Koulibaly, getting rid of him, selling him. He's not good enough. He this, that, and the other. And look at him. Look at him all of a sudden, you know. So, like, sometimes I think we just need to be a little bit patient. And we've always usually have the rule of giving players at least a season, you know. These guys have not even had pre-seasons, the Madrid, but just come straight in and play. Not all of them can do what Enzo Fernandez is doing at the moment, which is just slipping in and looking, you know, elegant and whatever. Not every player can do that. They do need a bit of time. I don't know. Do you know what? I'll be honest with you. Benfica. I've got this weird feeling that Enzo Fernandez will be playing against his old team in the quarterfinals. It'll be Benfica. That's what I'm thinking is, and that's not to say because of Benfica are crap. That's just because Benfica are, I think, the team that we're going to get. You know, they're not a bad team. They're not a bad team. As we've seen in the Champions League already, even without him. So they still tick quite nicely. But we will definitely be doing that. 100% be looking at the draw and stuff as well. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Right, let's get into some of the videos that I've got for you guys. Let's do that. Let's do that. And then we're going to obviously do player ratings and stuff as well. Big up to everyone that's slowly coming through as well. Big up. Nearly 150 people here. My seat keeps going down. Oh, this seat that I've got, guys. Right, so my day started like this yesterday. Let's go through it. What am I doing here? There we go. I haven't done this in ages. Right. So I was at the ground. Obviously, I made it. I went to the away pub, and this is the atmosphere at the time. And when we win the league again, we'll sing this song all night. Oh, Fabregas is magic. He wears magic. The one thing I would say is they might want to start changing that Fabregas's magic to Enzo's magic. He wears the magic hat because he is. We're going to get into Enzo because he was showing in yesterday's game when I was watching him visually. He was showing some Fabregas moments yesterday, something that we haven't seen in a very long time. Then balls over the top. But let's keep going on. We've got a couple more videos for you. So this is me in the stadium, my position, my seat, what I could see, how the atmosphere was. It was an amazing atmosphere yesterday, buzzing. Yeah, I had quite a good view, not going to lie. It was quite decent. Obviously, that moment there was João Felix running through off the left and he tried to cut it back, but ended up getting a corner. But, you know, it was a good position, a nice stadium. I could actually text people off my phone. Usually you have no connection in any stadium that you go to. But the stadium that I was at yesterday, the King Power, I could send texts, messages. It was mad. Half time. Well, one of my panelists was there with me. Don, big up to Don in the house, and we sort of, let's say a halftime review. We're just talking about a couple of things, and I'll show it with you guys here. There we go. What are we saying? Hey, what are we saying, Don?
We're saying Enzo, Havertz link up. That's what we're saying right now. That's what we're saying right now.
What a goal, people. What a goal.
Good
what
goal,
a goal. Let's hope we just run away with this now. But, you know, I want more from João Felix, man.
Yeah, no. 100%. 100%. No, Felix. Listen, I want to see more in it.
Yeah,
and down there, I was getting onto him because he should not be dribbling out there.
Exactly.
He should be dribbling back there. Do you know what I'm saying? All the way there, but at least
we're winning. That's what I care about. Forget the ball. Let's win it. Let's go. We're going to do more of them, but I'm going to do them a lot longer. Now I can upload. Now I know that I can upload some of these. What I'll do when I go to games, like I'm going to the Everton game, I'll do a longer video talking about it at half time, breaking it down, what the atmosphere is like, give you a bit of a, talk to people that I'm with. We'll be doing more of that on this, but just giving you a little bit of a taste of what we'll be doing at the end of each game, each of every review that we do. That I am actually at. If I'm not at it, then obviously I can't do it. But yeah, I'll play it one more time because I know. What are we saying?
Hey,
what are we saying, Don?
We're saying Enzo, Havertz link up. That's what we're saying right now. That's what we're saying right now.
What a goal, people. What a goal.
Good
what
goal,
a goal. Let's hope we just run away with this now. But, you know, I want more from João Felix, man.
Yeah, no. 100%. 100%. No, Felix, listen, I want to see more in it.
Yeah,
and down there, I was getting onto him because he should not be dribbling out there.
Exactly.
He should be dribbling back there. Do you know what I'm saying? All the way there, but at least
we're winning. That's what I care about. Forget the ball. Let's win it. Let's go. Yeah, there we go. Well, why did you sell it, you donut? You had it. Why would you sell your ticket? Why would you sell your ticket, mate? You didn't even ask me. Big up to you, though. Big up to you. And then we had one more video. After that, this was the second half, and this was one of the videos. Oh, mate, I love that. That was at the third goal after Kovacic. I'm not joking. The whole ground emptied. Everyone just left. Only the Chelsea fans there. It was good for us because that means we could have got out sooner. But we were singing some hard songs against Leicester yesterday. And we were just the loudest from 0 to 90. Chelsea fan base was the loudest. And the energy, the passion, and everything got pushed onto the players. And the players put in, a good performance. It wasn't the greatest performance. It wasn't like the Dortmund one. But again, it kind of was because I keep telling people we don't control games, we lose control. And we did through parts yesterday, we lost control of the game. So there is similarities into that. And maybe, again, that just comes with a bit more time, a profile of players that we still need. I don't know. Like, we need to be able to dominate games and kill games off sooner. We had chances in games, especially in the first half where we looked we looked good in the first half. Chilwell's goal was good. We lost control after the Chilwell goal, though, and they sort of dominated for a starting point of the game. And then, obviously, they ended up scoring from a mistake from João Felix. So we'll be talking about João Felix and everyone else very soon. We've got match ratings to do, so we'll be discussing them. Make sure you're smashing the likes. Nearly 200 people in the show already. Big up to every single one of you that are in here as well. Big up. We're going to be talking about individual player ratings very shortly. We're just going to quickly go through some other bits, and then we'll get into it. Chelsea, if you're not aware of this, I know this is just going off topic for a second. What's going on there? There we go. Big up to DJ in the house, bro. No, I haven't seen you in a while. Big up to Skills. Nice to see you. No, bro, don't stop doing that. Just fucking bored people, aren't they? Stop asking me silly questions. Chelsea have reached a full agreement with Phoenix All-Stars to sign Dujan Whisper Richards. He will join in November after he turns 18. This boy is quick. This boy is bolt quick. He's from Jamaica as well. He is rapid. I looked at some of his goals. Pius put up a video clip of some of his goals, mate, and how quick he was. He is rapid. If you've not seen this guy, go and check him out. He is rapid. He is so quick. Like, I'd say he's probably like Adama Traore quick. And on top of that, he actually has the dribbling ability and the shot behind it as well. So there's a young prospect there for Chelsea when he comes in. And maybe this will be more to the fact that we then go and invest into a new club, and that could happen. And then you start seeing these youth players getting thrown over to a French club that Chelsea have purchased and things like that. I expect that. I think there is going to be a multi-club sort of, multi-club use in many ways, should I say, moving forward. And I think that's I think that is part of the project at Chelsea. I think that's what we want to do. I think we want to buy. We're not just buying all these young players for the sake of it because we know they're not ready for now for the first 11. We're buying them as a part of the multi-project. And the multi-project being, this is what we have now. And all right, some of the players in the current squad 11 are young players. But these boys that are coming through are also the ones that are going to be for the future. Right? These are the ones that we want to be able to then just incorporate back into the team when they're ready at later stages. And by doing that multi-club sort of option, by allowing them to maybe go and play for a club that Chelsea partly own and in the French league, which is tough, competitive, which is a growing league, a league that's getting stronger, playing against some of the best players in the world. Let's not lie as well. Only gains experience for these youth players. And that's why I think we're looking to purchase, along with obviously the players that we have, some of the young players that we have at the moment, and it's going to be interesting. It's going to be. Do you think we have turned a corner now? How old is young Dujan Richards? Well, he's going to be 18 in November, isn't it? That's what it says there. Yeah, so big up to you, DJ, man. Big up to you, bro. Big up to you. I saw something about them buying a club, but then no info. Because we don't hear info doesn't mean nothing's happening. You know what we're like. We're probably doing a lot of things in the background. So I do think that this is the idea. I don't see why we buy so many young players for the sake of it. If we're not, you don't buy these players just for them just to be loaned out and sold on. Maybe we follow the same project idea as Roman, having a big loanee academy and start, because of the investment side of it. Or we do what I think we're going to do, which is buy a club, put some of the talented ones that we feel are going to be the ones for Chelsea in the future in, into these clubs, and then allow them to train and kick on from there. But we'll have to see. We'll have to see. There's a lot still that we're not aware of, that that we've not seen from these owners, what they want to do, how they're going to structure us, what's the philosophy, what's the idea. Lots to do. Lots and lots and lots to do. In the meantime, 200 people here. Big up to every single one of you guys that are in the chat at the moment. Smash a like for me, because I know we haven't got enough likes. Now, let's go back to the game, because we are on, not say a run, but we are on some better form, right? We are on some better form. And when you look at the last 3 games, 3 straight wins off the back of a horrible run. First time scoring 3 goals in 1 game since October. Chelsea mood right now. It's not specifically that we're back, but I always felt that we were going to turn the corner eventually. We had to. It was just sad. It's very sad that it took this long for us to turn the corner, right? You can't deny that the quality's there. We have players that are, there's quality there. Might be missing. I still feel we're missing specific profiles, and injuries here and there has affected us and whatever. But, the overall squad's good enough. It was down to the manager to find the best out of the squad that we have at the moment. And the one thing Potter hasn't done up to the last 3 games is find a system that works and stick with it, and then play players in positions that they are comfortable in. What we saw yesterday was a splitting image in terms of system setup as what we saw against Dortmund. The difference with yesterday's game is that he made some more bolder decisions when it came to switching the team, when it came to changing it around. And the big up to Bobby in the house as well, man, Mitch as well, Jazz, Jazza B, everyone. Decisions to switch the game, 2 big decisions in the game yesterday that he made, which was to switch to a back 4, which then paid off. I was actually moaning when he did it. I was like, what's he doing that for? Why has he done this? We're only 2-1 up. What are we doing? We're going to end up drawing. It worked. He pushed Mudryk to the left, even though Mudryk was only on for about 5-10 minutes. But then Mudryk had a better output, because he then was playing in a more comfortable position off the left, which then allowed him to be more involved in the game. Yeah, which led to obviously the Kovacic goal, playing off the left, heading the ball across to Kovacic, who arrived in, bang, goal, right? And then he made the decision to take João Felix off and put Conor Gallagher on. Now, at the time, the fan base was like, hey? But then a lot of them were like, well, he didn't have the greatest of first halves. And Conor Gallagher works hard. So maybe having another person in the midfield to get stuck in and win the balls back and whatever else may be the good idea. It paid off. I was a little bit worried of Conor Gallagher starting, and it paid off. Conor Gallagher done his bit, done what he does, and it was effective. And it helped the midfield because, again, Enzo and Kovacic, as much as I like the two, I'm watching the 2 of them, I thought they were very good again yesterday. They were getting outnumbered. And I think the plan from the oppositions that we're playing against is that they know that we're probably going to go down the free system because we're winning in the free system. How do you dominate the midfield? Well, by dominating the midfield, you just throw extra numbers in there. You have extra men in there. And that's what they did yesterday. They increased the numbers in the midfield and made it very hard for us to in parts control the game, even though I felt we done quite well. I thought Enzo and Kovacic done quite well. Yeah, I mean, I could see some of the comments on my blooming kit fell down. But yeah, so, big bold decisions that paid off for him 100%. And then there was some also good performances, some very good performances. And we're going to do the player rating soon, but I wanted to just bring out individual performances. And obviously, Mateo Kovacic has captained Chelsea 3 times this season, and all 3 of them have been wins. Now, I'm not saying, oh my God, he's a leader. He's not. What I say is with Mateo Kovacic, from what I saw yesterday as a leader, is he ups his game. He ups his game. Now, some people saying he didn't have the greatest game yesterday. I actually thought he was fine. He didn't. I thought he was just Kovacic, to be honest, to a degree. He wasn't breaking forward and bursting through as much as he usually does. But what he done quite well with Enzo Fernandez is stay close with him. They always knew where each other were going to be. And what I saw from Mateo Kovacic, which was more confident for him, is that I don't feel like he worries too much about what's behind as much with Enzo, knowing that Enzo's there. Because I feel there's a confidence there because he knows Enzo can be a bit more physical And we saw it yesterday with Enzo. Very physical, won some very good tackles. Cover made some good tackles in the game as well. It was a midfield that I was intrigued to see, Enzo and Cover. And a lot of people said, well, it wouldn't work. And I said, well, I just want to see it. I want to see it. What I do like, what I see with them two, is more when we have the ball. It's the offensive side. It's the progressive side. It's the breaking the line side. It's being able to win the ball back and bang, bang, bang every time. And from that, the forward line are getting more confident. Kai Havertz, who's been incorporated into a deeper role, is now looking more confident because he can pick up the ball in good spaces, but his decision-making is a lot better. We're going to talk about Kai Havertz a bit later on. João Felix, who his main attribute for me is picking the ball up deep and taking it forward, and then building the transitions from there from him, benefits from it. And when you've got a midfield that's going to be like that all the time and has the ability like Enzo has to always get the ball right, it's a good chemistry. The chemistry works. The chemistry flows. The chemistry looks good to the eye. It looks good to the eye. What's going on here? 2 seconds, guys. Just trying to see what's going on here. So yeah, it was a good performance yesterday, and he's captained us 3 times, and it's 3 good wins, guys. It's 3 good wins, and then it goes on to the man of the match, and I'm going to talk about him. You just know I am, because I was very upbeat about getting this guy. I was on the edge when it came to the player, to getting him, and I'm not on the edge for any player usually when it comes to signing them, but when you see that there's a player that possesses the ability, which, by the way, there's not many players in the world that have this ability. I've said this to you guys before, even before we signed him. I wanted you guys to see this, right? And the thing with Enzo Fernandez is he's playing with a handbrake at the moment. He's literally playing with a handbrake because of where he's having to play, but he's still so effective that when he does go forward, and we're higher up the pitch and we play against a team that's low blocking, we now have a player that will pick them pockets, pick them holes, and allow the forwards to have a chance to score. And what he did yesterday with that lob to Kai Havertz and the finish, that was world class. That was Cesc Fabregas-esque. I have not seen that at Chelsea for a very long time. Being able to get the ball and just make something happen with it. Have that ability to see that pass. Now, we all know that his ability is his passing, his long-range passing, his short-range passing. He's comfortable doing it. 9 out of 10, 10 out of 10s every time he knocks the ball across the pitch. They go to where they need to go. But also, what people don't realize, like I said to people about him, is his aggression, his interceptions. It's his getting stuck in. It's the off the ball work that he does. Now, it's not saying that he can't play a 6. He can do a job in the 6. He can do a job in the 6. But it does handbrake him to a degree. Can you imagine having him further forward when forwards are making runs and him just picking the balls, ding, 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 but not having to worry as much about what's going on behind him? Can you imagine if we had that with him? Like, for me, he's gold. He is A-class. He is irreplaceable. And when I say irreplaceable, I mean it in terms of the ability side of it and what he offers to the team. Because there's not many players in the world of football that can do what he does. And when I said to you guys, there's probably 2 players that I can think of that can do what he does so well, is Frankie de Jong and him. And we got him. And he's got the grit, he's got the passion, he's got everything. Everything. And he deserved man of the match yesterday. He was unreal. Again, I don't even want to talk to you about stats, because every time I talk about stats, each and every game, it's always that he's the best in the stats on any other player on the pitch, and he's done it again. He just does it all the time. It doesn't matter what game he plays in. And all right, some of the past games that he first came into wasn't his best performances, but he was still dominating on stats. He was still, good on the eye. He was still giving us something. Like Lewis said here, Enzo Fernandez was a bargain for us. Unreal player he is. This is what people are starting to realise now, that he has the abilities. And you know what? What was quite fun? This caught me off guard. And this is nothing against you. I don't know if I've got it on here, actually. Did I load it up? Yeah. This is nothing against Jorginho. But have you seen this stat? I didn't know this was a serious stat. Have you seen this stat? In all seasons, Premier League seasons, right? In all Premier League seasons, Jorginho has played in the Premier League. He has assisted 5 times in the Premier League out of 148 games. Jorginho has assisted 5 times in 148 games. Enzo Fernandez has assisted in 6 games, 2 already. He is now 3 off beating Jorginho on assists in the Premier League. Gave 1 to João Felix and he's given 1 to Kai Havertz. And the reason I pick up on this at this specific moment is because he's actually playing the role of Jorginho. He's playing as deep as Jorginho. Not where I want to see him specifically, but he's playing in that role. And why it's effective is because that when you play against the low block, even when we had Jorginho, one of the things that made me very mad with Jorginho, is that he lacked the consistency to always play them balls or unlock defenses, because I knew he could do it. Out of every player on the pitch, I knew Jorginho, if he could just look up, could play them balls in, and he never done it enough. He never done it enough. And these stats are atrocious with the amount of games he's played. You've got to bear in mind, this guy never got injured. I can't remember. We was always talking about how he was not injury prone. 5 assists in 148 games to Enzo, who's played 6 and already had 2 assists. Like, you see the difference in quality. Now, it could have been quite interesting if we would have kept Jorginho, because I actually think Jorginho would have played as the deeper, and Enzo would have been allowed to play how we want to see him, which is be more effective further forward and worry about going the other way. He would have still had to have come back and defended and worked hard and whatever else. But it's mad. Like it would have been interesting to see them together. But this is mad. That is a mad stat. I nearly fell out my chair when I saw that. I was like, that can't be true. Nah, that can't be true. 5 assists from Jorginho. Nah, that's mad. That is mad. I'm sorry. But I thought I'd share that with you guys because that was some mad stat. Going back to the baller. People are slowly coming along when it comes to him. We haven't had anyone play the pass since Fabregas. Enzo Fernandez's class is what we've got here. He's a fantastic player, is what Graham Potter says. He says he's quality when he gets the ball on passes forward. He sees everything. He does. He passes the ball without looking. I was there yesterday. He was passing the ball without looking where he's going to pass it because he knew it was going to go there. He knew Kovacic was here. Ruben was there. Havertz was here. It would just go bang, 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 bang. So he was comfortable in receiving the ball deep, not having to take 2-3 touches before releasing it, which is what Jorginho used to do. He would receive it in the middle of the ball, in the middle of the team, where they would pressure him, and he would just go bang, 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 bang. And it would always, there was a couple passes that didn't always pay off, but the majority just paid off. And he sees everything. That what he did there. Look at the grin in his face. Look at it. Look at him. The man's like, this is just easy for me, bruv. This is just easy for me. Let me just lob this over. Let me just give it a little pink. Yeah. And he's literally outside the box when he does this lob. Thinks it. Over the defence's head and all the way to Kai Havertz. And by the way, this not take away from Kai Havertz. What a finish. I don't care if you hate him or you love him or whatever. That was class. That was class. But look at him. Just smiling like, hey, let me just knock this ball over the top for you guys. Big up everyone that's in the chat. 310 people. Man of the match, Enzo Fernandez all day. How did Chelsea set up? Yesterday? Well, this is how Chelsea set up yesterday. This was it. This was the team. Kepa, Fofana, Koulibaly, Guerrero. Well, it was the same team as what we had in the Champions League, barring Reece James. Ruben Loftus-Cheek came in and played off the right, who, again, done quite a good job. For me, Ruben's just great at giving what he gives, which is just the versatility side to the squad, He's a good player to just have there. Enzo and Kovacic, great. Chilwell finding his steps again, which is great for us. He's starting to look like Chilwell, which we'll talk about. And then Mudryk, Havertz, and João Felix, who we're going to get into very shortly. Now, where did it leave us after that win in the Champions League, in the Premier League? Well, here we go. The Premier League table is right here. In the last 2 games that we've played and won, we're still 10th. We're still 10th. We do have, however, Aston Villa, who have a game in hand on us, who could match us on points if they win. Sort of the same run, but they ain't going to overtake us because they've got a shit goal difference. So there where we are. You look at where we are from 10th, which is 37, and you work your way up, and you see, obviously, Brentford have still got to play, but we're a point behind. Fulham have played as many games, and they're 2 points ahead. And then there's Brighton and Newcastle. Now, Brighton and Newcastle play 24 games out of, 27? Because Tottenham and City have played 27 already. They go on and win. I'm not saying they win them all, but if they go on and win all 3 of their games, they put Liverpool, they put Spurs, and I even think they put maybe United down. You could see Newcastle and Brighton be in Champions League and Europa League. They could be above Liverpool and Tottenham, for sure. They could be above Liverpool and Tottenham, for sure, with the amount of game hands have. So what we kind of need is them to lose, in a way, so that we can get up the table, even though I don't want to see us get in Europa League. But at the same time, if we're not going to go for it, then just take Tottenham and Liverpool out of the equation. It'd be quite nice to just see that anyway, you know? Don't want to see Liverpool and Tottenham get in Champions League football anyway. So, you know, they've got game in hands. And then you look at where we are to 37 to where Man United are. They've still got a game in hand as well, and they're 49. So is Champions League possible? That's the question. 48 points Spurs, who have played 27 games. Chelsea, 37 points. All right, still a game in hand on Spurs. If they win, we'll go up to 40 points, and it'll leave us 8 points off. The issue you've got is the in-between. Liverpool, Newcastle, Brighton. These teams have all still, I mean, especially Newcastle, Brighton, these teams have also still got to play, right? So, come on, mate. That is a gem sandwich, isn't it, Jazzaby? That is a gem sandwich. Enzo and Havertz scoring. I mean, my real agenda, and I want to make this clear, my actual real agenda for players is Enzo Fernandez and Thiago Silva. It isn't Kai Havertz. Why people put me in the phrase of being a Kai Havertz defender is because I don't see the abuse element to the fact that he hasn't got any ability, and I don't agree with him. And it's quite interesting because we're going to talk about it very, very soon. No Mount news. No, there is no Mount news. What is there to talk about? Enzo's ball to Kai for the third was world class too. It was, mate. It was. So that's where we are in terms of the league. In terms of the game yesterday, this shocked me because even though Leicester had chances, I didn't know they had that many chances. Stats-wise, they had 17 shots compared to our 12. We beat him in terms of possession, which was nearly close anyway, and only had 6 on target, of which 3 were goals, and the other 3 wasn't. But they had 7. They had 17 shots. Did not feel like it, I'll be honest with you. You know, they had a lot more chances second half than the first, in my opinion, but I can't remember. I didn't really go all. It was only when, the only time I went all was when Kepa made them 2 mistakes in the second half. And obviously they scored, Patson Daka. But it didn't feel like they overly done much. I mean, a lot of their shots were off in the air anyway. But yeah, you know, it is what it is. Now we're gonna do the quick team ratings. We're gonna get the panel in as well. Panel will be joining us. I'm being told that was Leicester as well. Okay, interesting. Before we do that, we've got some Mason Mount news. I didn't think we had it, but we do. We have some Mason Mount news. Smash the like, subscribe to GNA TV and Chelsea Fan TV, please. If you're new here, get them likes up. Nearly 400 people in the chat already. So big up to every single one of you that are currently here at the moment. Let's have a look at this news on Mason Mount very quickly. Then we'll do the match rating, player ratings. We've got the panel to come in as well, which we're going to do in the next 20 minutes or so. Right. So we have this comment here from Sam, C345, someone that I know quite well. He's the guy that announces all the team news and stuff for us, right? So this is the news. We're being told that Mason Mount was left out of yesterday's squad. Player described as fully fit. So he wasn't injured. He was fully fit, but just left out. And he goes on to say that the possibilities of Mason not signing a new contract could have played a factor in Graham Potter's decision to leave him out of the side that beat Leicester yesterday afternoon. I told you guys when we was talking about Mason Mount, right, that I don't think it's got anything to do with injuries with Mason Mount. Why I think Potter's not playing him is the contract disputes at the moment. For me, it was obvious. It was obvious that it was the contract disputes. When he said he was injured on that press conference, I was like, well, he wasn't the games before because he was on the bench. He wasn't injured. That didn't make no sense to me. And I was sitting there, that just sounds like an excuse. The recent contract activities, discussions between Mount and Chelsea, where supposedly he's declined the money that we've offered to him, has played a decision potentially on the decision to start him. Maybe it's just to do with his overall feel. Maybe he doesn't feel as important in the team at the moment. Let's be serious. Maybe he's not feeling that. Partly to do with what the wages being offered to him, the contract that's being offered to him, these things that could be playing on his mind, which then Potter's seeing and thinking, well, we're doing all right here. Let's not hinder that by a player that's having a bit of a dispute and put him aside. Maybe this is just good for Mason Mount. Maybe this is just what he needed. And we always said about him just being completely taken away for a moment because he's played too much football. Too much football in a Chelsea shirt. Too much football in the last couple of years, in my opinion, for his age. Maybe that we sort it out and he comes back after we sort it out on a fresh contract and we start seeing a pump, the Mason Mount that we want to see, and he gets in the team again. Maybe that will happen. At the moment, he's not playing due to his contract. I don't know. I don't know, Big up to Bobby in the house. Kai is an absolute baller. All his critics are all wrong. And Bobby, big up to you. Big up to Jimmy as well. Nice to see you, bro. Hope you're well. Hope you're having a good day, my man. Bro, he's paid. I showed people this stat already. He's paid, I think, over 200 to 300 games already in his professional career at Chelsea. That's a lot of games. You got to think we were moaning about overplaying him in past seasons. Yeah, do you remember when people were saying, why are they playing him? Put him on the bench, playing too much. And we used to be like, well, we can't because he's one of our best players. He has to play. Like, he has played a lot of football. He's played a lot of football. When you look at some of the legends at Chelsea and how much football they've played and compare it to where he is currently he was at the moment, if he continued on that path, he'd have played a lot of football. A lot of football, But there's the news on Mason Mount, and that's intriguing. It's intriguing. That's intriguing. So let's see what happens more at a later stage. It's good for Mason to miss out a little. He needs a break. Well, that's what I'm saying. Maybe this gives him a bit of a kick up. I don't know. Maybe he sorts it out with Chelsea. He comes back on a fresh contract. Maybe he kicks on. Maybe he don't. Maybe he just leaves. Maybe he's just not happy. I don't know. Who knows? None of us know. None of us know. But all I do know is that he's not getting in the team right now. And there has to be a reason behind that. There has to be a reason behind that. Big up, Ed. Nice to see you in the house, bro. Hope you're well. Everyone's saying he played better since Mount has been out of the team. Personally, I think it's better we left Ziyech out. Get Ziyech out. Yeah, I mean, you know what I think about Ziyech, mate. He's just a waste of space anyway. I'm not going to get into it. But yeah, for someone of his ability, that is just too much. Yeah, I agree, Josh. I agree, bro. I agree. Big up to Chelsea OG as well. Nice to see you in the house, bro. Nearly 400 people in the chat. We're going to do some match ratings quickly. We've got the panel to come in as well for an hour or so as well to get involved as well and let us know their thoughts on the game. But let's get into it, and we'll start with a man like Kepa. Let's start with a man like Kepa. Again, quite a solid overall performance. The only thing that let him down for me was them 2 moments in the second half. One where both from corners, and I'm never comfortable with him on corners or free kicks. I'm sorry, I'm not. He's just not built to be good at them. Could he have saved the goal? I'll be honest with you, from the angle that I saw it, I don't think so. I don't think he could have. But yeah, you know, them 2 mistakes that could have, and they would, let's be serious, they were fumbled by Leicester. They should have put them in the back of the net as well. They would have gone against Kepa, but they didn't. And he deserves a bit of luck, to be fair. He does deserve a bit of luck. 6. I'll probably go over 6 for me. 7.5s, 4s, 5s, 6, 5. Probably 6 for me. Probably a 6 is where I'll go with Kepa. Right, let's go on to the next one, which is... why am I doing it like this? I don't know. Doing it in a different way now. Marc Cucurella, a player that has had a lot of stick in the last couple of months. And the last 2 games, he got picked again over Badiashile. Obviously, Badiashile couldn't play in the Champions League, but he got picked over Badiashile in this game. He had a good game. Again, starting to see a more confident Cucurella, more comfortable Cucurella. People were saying we don't want to see Chilwell and Cucurella in the same team. Well, now it's looking more comfortable. It's looking more fitted, that side. You know, it's starting to look more good. I thought he had a good game yesterday. I thought he was comfortable. I thought he done well, covered well. You know, I thought he covered well. I'd probably give him a 7. 7.5, 7. Thought he was good. We've got 8s. We've got, is that a 4? 8, 7, 5, 8, 8, 6.5. Yeah, I'll probably give him a 7 for me. 7, 6.5, 7. Yeah, so people are sort of all in the same bracket when it comes to Cucurella. All right, cool. And then we go on to another player that's took a lot of stick. A lot of stick of recent. This guy, Koulibaly. He has been so much better in a central position of a 3. He just looks so much more comfortable, covers well. Good. He made 1 or 2 errors where he passed the ball out, but he's progressive and he's good with the ball. I thought he had a good game again. Another good game for him. You know, without Thiago Silva, he's stepping up, and that's what we want, right? We want these defenders to step up. These are defenders that we've paid money for to come in and show us they can do. And without Thiago Silva in the team and him now in there, I'm starting to feel more comfortable in this system with them. It's looking like it's an understanding. And there's a big part of a reason why it's looking good, because Cucurella stepping up. Wesley Fofana looks good. Badiashile looked calm next to him. I would give him a 7.5 for me. 8, 7.5. 8, 7.5. 8, 8. Yeah, I thought he was good, man. I thought he was good, Koulibaly. He had a good game. He had a good game again. Impressed for him. I'm happy with him because he's getting a lot of stick. And I did say that we should always give these players a season. You know, some players just need a bit of time to bed, even the ones that are experienced and are meant to be very good. You know, like, give them time. And then there's this guy. Then there was this guy, Wesley Fofana, who, I've got to be honest, he's starting to impress me more and more. My biggest worry with Wesley Fofana was his injury. It wasn't about his overall talent, because he's got the talent. It was just his overall, injury record. And earlier on, we missed him. He missed the injury and whatever. And I was sitting there thinking, God, here we go. And he's just never going to be fit. And when he is fit, I am seeing things that I've not seen. I'm seeing leadership qualities. I'm seeing the Rudiger-esque qualities in stepping up. Our defence automatically looks better when he's in it. He looks comfortable in a back 3. Not to say that I think he can play a back 4 anyway, but I think the back 3 is suiting most of the defenders as well. They're looking more comfortable in it. But the leadership qualities are starting to come out of Wesley Fofana. Again, the energy from the fans was increasing their levels yesterday, and even they were looking better from it. And that's where the kick came from. That's where the kick came from. For me, he was an 8.5. Easily 8.59. He was class at his old ground. Boston nearly scored that header. I wish that went in. Ben Chilwell and him both on the score sheet would have been beautiful, absolutely beautiful. But he was class yesterday. He was very good. And then there's another player that's came from them who had a very good game and also scored. Chile B, Ben Chilwell. Again, it just felt like they upped their games. I felt like they upped their game against their old team, and they just look so good. Ben Chilwell up and down the pitch again, looking solid. You know, it was impressive. He was impressive. The goal, the finish was great as well from him as well. Very good finish from Ben Chilwell. And just looked good the whole game. I'll be honest, him and Cucurella have a better understanding. Again, maybe that needed time. He's just the perfect wing back. He is. He's a goal threat. He creates. He brings. Yeah, he's good on the progression side of things. He can defend. He helps Cucurella as well when Cucurella's out of position. They work together. They both understand the role. Chilwell for me was again an 8.5, easily, nearly onto a 9. We've got some big love for Chile B in the chat here as well from everyone, as I can see. Everyone putting 8s and 9s in the chat, so everyone was happy. Lewis mudded by Kai. Nah, he isn't mudded by Kai. He isn't. Not yet. Anyway, not yet. And then we go on to the other side of things, which is a player that again a lot of people are up and down on. This guy, I thought he had a good game as well. And Ruben Loftus-Cheek has sort of grown to understand the role better. I don't like him there still. I don't think he's amazing there, but he does a job. And when Reece James is out and we're playing the back three, I don't want to see Azpilicueta there. I want to see Ruben Loftus-Cheek there. You know, I do. Because he's physical. He works hard. He gets back. He helps Fofana. He's good going forward. He can take players on. We know he can do that. He can drive forward from that position. He can make passes. You know, that he should have had an assist yesterday if João Felix looked across the line a bit better and didn't just off. He should have just waited. Yeah, he could have had an assist yesterday. Again, just a very good performance from him. 7.5 is probably, I agree with what Bobby's saying here. 7.5 is probably fair. 6.5. He was good, man. He's versatile. He's good to have. He's a good option to have, you know. Big up to Concierge of Crime, whose birthday it was not long ago. So big up to him. Happy birthday to you as well, brother. 350 people in the chat. Big up to every single one of you guys. Yeah, not a bad performance by Ruben. Now let's move on to the midfield. Let's start with Mateo Kovacic, who scored an absolute blinder, is building a very good relationship with Enzo Fernandez as well. Some good tackles in the game. What I like is they don't seem to be too far away from each other every time. They all seem to be quite close. You know, they're not, he doesn't pull away. He does sometimes when we're on the break, but overall, the understanding of being close together and working hard against teams that are overcrowding him in midfield. And that's what they've been doing against Enzo and Kovacic. They've been trying to outnumber us in the midfield because, I'll be honest with you, I think they know that when we've got the ball, the quality of the two possessed with the ball, it's very hard to get the ball off them. So when they have the ball, it's about having the numbers. It's about trying to pick us off. And Enzo and Kova have had to do some hard work in the midfield in his last 2 games against Dortmund and against Leicester in the way they set up. And what a finish, by the way. What a finish. You know, captain, led well as well, I've got to say. He seems to be a lot better with the armband on his shirt as well for me. Solid 8. Solid 8 for me. He was very good for me yesterday. He gets past a lot. He does. I'll agree. But again, this goes back to them not being defensive. You know, that's the thing we need to understand. When we play with Enzo and Kovacic, we can't expect them to be very good defensively. Even though they do a job still, they win tackles, they'll do their bit. They're not built for the overall sitter ability. That's not what we want from them. Well, what we want is for them to have a lot of the ball. And when we play against low blocks, I would like to see these two. I think having these two against a low block team that's not going to see a lot of the ball, that's going to play against a Chelsea team that's going to have a lot of the ball, and then it's going to be down to us to break them down. That's the 2 players I want. Because you've got one that will break them down, and we've seen it, and we're going to go to him next with a pass, and the other one who's able to break him with his dribbling ability, with his running, and then also being able to support in the box as well. Good. Very good, Mateo Kovacic. Now, the man of the match, the baller, the class, the Ferrari, Enzo. I mean, what do you want me to say, man? Look at him. Look at the passion. Look at the passion of my baller. My baller. He is class. He is class, mate. And yesterday, it wasn't even just about the lob. The lob was just something else, by the way. It was just everything. Even the third goal, people don't realise. He's outside of the boot pass to Havertz over the top, which in Havertz knocked to Mudryk and into Kovacic, that led us on the charge. He always looks forward. He always picks the right ball. He always makes it a perfect ball. The forwards are now confident because every time they make a run and he's got the ball, he picks them. Imagine being Kai Havertz now, who actually thinks, shit, when I make a run, I'm actually going to see the ball. The ball's going to come to me. I'm going to just keep running. João Felix, Sterling, all of them. He's just, and even when we haven't got the ball, he made some quality tackles yesterday, just outside the box where we looked like we were under pressure. He done well. He also lumped some of the Leicester players on the floor and got away with one here, 1 and 2 there. I like that about him. He gets stuck in. He's hard. He goes in. He's not, he's not a weak player. He's quite, physical. He's not tall, massively tall, but he's physical off the ball as well. And I like that. He's got that Argentinian bulldog in him. 9.5, 9.5, whatever you want to call it. He's just class. Got nothing else to say. Honestly, nothing else to say about that. João Felix. Interesting one. João Felix. Now, oh, wrong. What have I done it? João Felix. Why have I got a picture of him? João Felix. Let's go. Right. Now, I've sat here for a while, and people need to take the Kai Havertz thing out of this when I talk about João Felix, right? I've been sitting here for a while, trying to wait and see what it is the fans that support him so much see in João Felix. Now, what I do see in him, this is what I see in him, right? Is not what I was told by fans when we was told he's a creator and he scores goals. He doesn't. He just doesn't. He doesn't do it at that level. But what he does possess is something that we don't have. Now, I'm still not sure of him off the left. I'll be honest with you. I actually prefer him in the number 10 role. But by doing the number 10 role, I think then it affects Havertz. I think the only way you can get Havertz and João Felix in the same team is playing like this. Now, he's not rubbish there. It's not the case. I just am not sure if he's as effective there, in my opinion, from what I've seen. And yesterday, what he possesses that is good, and something that we need, is the ability to carry the ball comfortably and allow us to transition quick. All right. When we get the ball to Enzo or Kova and we play the balls in, partly it'll go to Havertz, but most of the times it will go to João Felix. And then what João Felix will do is he'll hold the ball, he'll twist and turn, and then he'll break. And then from that, Kai Havertz, whoever else is up front, makes runs off him, and then he will make the pass into him. Now, that is what João Felix is. He's the player that sets the transition moving forward. Breaks the lines. He has the quality, the balance to be able to move into that. If he could just improve on putting the ball in the fucking goddamn net, he would be lethal. He would be lethal. And why I'm a little bit strong on him is because has been playing in positions where he's favoured to play in. And he also has been receiving most of our chances in games. The chances that have landed to João Felix. He's the one that, that it comes to and you're like, right, go, do it. And he doesn't. And I know we've got players in the team from the past that have done the same thing and had the same problems and whatever. And then we go, but what about Havertz? But what about Ziyech? But what about Pulisic? What about... Nothing to do with that. What you're not understanding when it comes to João Felix is that, for me, he's on a trial right now. He's on a trial. He's not a Chelsea player. He's a Chelsea player and wearing a shirt, but he's not a Chelsea player because we don't own him. He's on trial. He's on a trial at the moment for Chelsea. As much as you like it or not, as much as you love him or not. And the trial being that Atletico Madrid, if we do want him, supposedly are going to want some serious money for the player. So if we're going to pay this kind of money for him, then I need to see what it is that we're going to, what it is that we're purchasing to a degree. What is it that we're going to fully get? Now, putting better players around him up front, yeah, fine. I get that. balance chemistry. Yes, he does miss in games, but so does most of them. And that goes to balance the squad. That happens. We lose control of games. It's more than just João Felix in that instance. But when he does have them moments and chances, I just want to see more. We're going to spend 80 million on João Felix if Havertz stays, or we're going to go and get a striker. Because I don't see us keeping all three. I don't see Havertz, Felix, and Nkunku and a striker all in the same team. I'd be shocked, to be honest, if we did. I mean, don't get me wrong. I wouldn't mind it. But it's just then how do you incorporate it? And Potter's got to play the way he needs to play to get the best out of the team. So with João Felix, it's not that I don't like him. There's nothing against that. My criticisms of João Felix always went back to what I said at the beginning. I'm not sure how it works with Chelsea. And then on top of that, the ability of the player to then merit the 80-odd million that we need to pay for that player. That's all. And he's got the ability. He offers a lot. We look better on the attack. Like I said, he starts our transitions. I like that. He gives us something we don't have. His chemistry with Kai Havertz looks very good. Him and Kai Havertz look like they're quite good in that deeper role together. They link well. I like it. Maybe he just needs a goal. Maybe he just needs a goal. When that goal comes, maybe we see a different João Felix. I don't know. Maybe he just needs that. So I'll wait for that. I'm not someone that's going to cut him completely a bit. But you want to spend 80-odd million on this player now, from what you're just seeing now? I'm not too sure. I keep telling you people this. Yeah, it's good to have him alone. Of course he is. Probably, he gave a goal away as well. He's too many touches in the box. He lost the ball. It happens. I'm not going to grill him completely for it, but it happens. So I'll give him a. I'm going to even be that harsh to him. I could have given him a 4 or 3, but I'm going to give him a 5, 6, 5 or a 6 for João Felix for me. Right, let's move on. We're going to open up. We're going to get the panel in very soon, but I want to just quickly jump onto the last 2 and then we're done. And then we'll get the panel in. I'm not even... Kai Havertz. You know what? It's not even about Kai Havertz or Jem mudding the haters and whatever. It's nothing to do with that, because I feel that some people just have a lack of listening sometimes when I talk about Kai Havertz. It's like they pick from what they want from what I say, but don't listen to it fully when I explain things, when I say Kai Havertz. Because we all agree, including me, that he's not consistent enough. He always seems to play very well from March onwards. He just has this thing. In March, he just starts playing well. Equally, why we're starting to see a more happy, and more effective Kai Havertz is because we're playing him in a deeper role. And when I told people months ago and we were having arguments and go, where is he going to play? What is he? What is he doing? Blah, blah. I said to you guys, play him in a deeper role. Let him have a bit of freedom. And with that, hopefully chemistry with players, and you'll see a better Kai Havertz. Someone that can, that could be more effective. And in the last 2 games, what has Potter done? He's made a manager's decision to drop him more deeper and not make him a focal point, play him more as a freedom role player. And that's allowed him to be more effective with his own ability. When people used to say he hasn't got no ability, no technique, this, that, and the other, I used to say he has. He has got all of that. We're just not seeing it because of the position he's playing in. He can't be a focal point. He's not a 9. We knew this. And for most of the 3 years that he's played, we've always used him mainly as a number 9. And that's why I said we're never going to see it. So we can cry and moan how crap he's that and the other and let him go in the summer, and he will go and be played in the right way. And you'll see his ability. He has ability for abundance. His decision-making, which has surprised me, has been good in the last 2 games. His passing, his finish was just a world-class finish. He's more involved. He's making runs, but he's making runs confident because he knows that he's going to receive the ball. He's just looking more confident. Now, the biggest criticism with all of this, for me, was not his ability, because I always knew it was there. He's got the ability. He's just got the ability. Whether you disagree or not, he has. He's got the ability. It's just him being consistent with it. Him showing that he can be consistent with it. It can't just be at the end of a season. We need to see it longer. He needs to be kicking off running, but that also involves management of the player, and he is a player that needs to be managed correctly, right? So now Potter's now seeing that he's starting to play better and he's more effective, and the team's benefiting from it, and the players, and he's playing better and he's scoring, and he's creating. He's creating. He's creating even when he was playing as a number 9. He was still creating deep. Just wasn't effective in front of goal, and he disappeared. Like what Winter Surfer said, he was managed wrong. He's been managed wrong for a couple games. Has done, in my opinion. Like, well, then this is where Nkunku comes in and whatever else. And it'd be quite intriguing to see like a João Felix and Nkunku Havertz link up, but as the way we played yesterday in the 3. And then just use the 2 behind. Because I think if you'd have played Nkunku instead of Mudryk up front, if you'd have chose, up front, then you might have, you would have seen a more effective system, effective 3. Because Nkunku's quality, mate. I'm telling you now, Nkunku with them 2. Jesus. Choose your fave, Kepa or Havertz. Well, I'm definitely picking Havertz over Kepa. You know that. Big up to you, though, bro. Big up to you. Yeah, but again, Lewis's critics of Kai Havertz, even though that I felt they were over the top in terms of saying he doesn't offer anything, he's not good enough, he doesn't do anything, this, that, and the other. It's true because we've not seen it to a degree, but that did also involve the managing side of it and also him into a degree, partly, but also where we played him. And I kept saying, just play him deeper. But we didn't have any option because we didn't have anyone to play as a 9, or we didn't play this system that we're playing now. So I get it. Anyway, I get it. Let me just quickly, thanks for the donation, Fator, as well as always, bro. Let me just quickly go to Mudryk. Let me just throw this in here for the panel. We've got to get the panel. I forgot about the panel. We get the panel in as well. Yeah, see what they've got to say for the next 50 odd minutes. Big up Ashraf. Nice to see you. Big up everyone that's in here now. Still 350 people. Smash the likes. We have got Mudryk left to do. And then obviously Gallagher in that. I mean, we can quickly just say, I'll say now, I thought Gallagher had a good game. Probably give him a 6 or a 6 or a 7, whatever you want. More, maybe more a 7, to be honest, for Gallagher. I thought he was quite decent. But Mudryk, I felt so bad on him when he skidded like that. He tried to do the Drogba celebration just to he was trying to do a good gesture in scoring and celebrating like Drogba. But I feel like he's on a handbrake a bit. Again, the management of playing him as a number 9, I don't think he's ready for that. I don't actually think he's even ready for the Premier League. Even though the Liverpool game at the beginning, he looked so hot. I was like, Jesus. But where we do see the best of Mudryk is where we just play the 4 at the back and he plays off the left. And he's up and down. And we saw it when we done the switching formation. He just looked better. But when we played him as up the top, just not as effective. He held the ball up well a couple of times and played the ball in and whatever, but just not his position, not his role. There was so much space behind that you just wanted him to run in. He wasn't doing it. He was coming deep and he was like, I didn't want that. I want him to just use his speed. You got so much speed. Run behind, bro. Run behind. Go. And he just wasn't doing that. I don't know. Probably a 6. I thought he had a better second half, in my opinion. Probably a 6, but I don't know, man. I don't know. It's I'm giving Mudryk 007. The 007's gone out the window now. Thankfully, he got the assist, didn't he, for Kovacic. But we do have man like Couch Critic in the house, and want to obviously welcome him to the show and see what his thoughts were of the game, and if there's any specific players that he'd like to talk about, we can highlight them. But yeah, go on, Couch. How you doing?
Yeah, well, good to see you again, Jim. I literally had the roughest of rough nights, so excuse my voice.
So you sound really weird at the moment. I thought, is this Couch?
Dude, just been out a long night drinking, but
fair enough.
After 3 wins, you can excuse that, right?
Yeah, of course, bro. Of course.
It's interesting that you started with Mudryk because this is kind of who I mostly wanted to highlight, and I kind of see it as when I watched him play yesterday as a number 9, it kind of just highlighted the fact that like this guy isn't really tactically aware yet. He's still learning the game. Like there's so many times in the press sequences where he was just so lethargic, didn't know where to press, where to push the buttons, where to force his man and stuff like that. And, was easily be played around. And to be to be perfectly honest, I thought that Kai Havertz did a lot of the lion's share of the work for him and made it easier for Mudryk.
Can you say that again, Couch? Sorry, just
Not the Chelsea.
Yo, what's up? I said Kai Havertz made the game, worked harder than I've ever seen him work before, and he made the game a lot easier for Mudryk by telling him where he needed to be, and also just picking up the slack for Mudryk. I thought, for me, Mudryk, he's just not tactically ready to play for Chelsea right now. He's just one-dimensional.
Better on the system pitch, right? When we went to 4 at the back, he looks more effective, just being out on the left. I thought.
Yeah, but I think but again, the game changed though too. I don't think that we're pressing the same way, and of course, he's playing in his more natural position. But I don't know. The things that changed about him is the fact that we were able to find him into space. It wasn't because he was tactically aware and helping us, build attacks, come deep. There's one time in the entire match, and we almost scored on it, where he actually dropped deep and came onto the ball, and it was the one where Felix ended up scoring offside. He needs to be a little bit more aware in the build-up and also in the press sequences. And I don't think that Potter trusts him enough yet to use him like exclusively yet.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I think he just needs. I think what we need to realize is that some of these players that we have brought in, Jerry, maybe just need a bit more time than others. Like we can allow that, right? Like he's not even had a pre-season, is he? He just comes straight into the neck of it. And all right, he's not played many games, but where we saw at Liverpool and we got all excited and then it sort of dropped off a bit, maybe falls to the fact that he isn't, like you're saying, Couch. Maybe he's just not ready. I mean, Lewis, from what you've seen of Mudryk up to this point, do you think he's just one of them players that we need to give him a bit of time at the moment?
Yeah, he's starting to get into his own a little bit. He's starting to get a bit more confident in his game, but he needs time. He's coming from the Ukrainian league into the Premier League. He's just growing into the role. He's one of our long-term ambitions with Chelsea anyway, so I don't really look at it in terms of too many negatives. He was a bit sloppy in the first half, grew into it a little bit more in the second half. Unlucky with the offside goal, but he got an assist. Just a good start. Saves him from the 007 memes, and we move from there.
Big up, Bobby. Yeah, no, I agree with that. What I was going to say, and it's just that so many people were questioning Potter for not using him the last few matches. And I just think that, like, it's obvious to me why he's not been playing. He's just not ready. He's not up to speed with how we're playing the game yet. And it takes time, so I think yesterday was another testament to that.
I hear you, bro. I hear you. Don, what was your thoughts on? Big up to you. Obviously, you was at the game yesterday as well. What was your thoughts on Mudryk? What you see? You're muted, mate. Yeah, it's not working. Come back. In the meantime, let's quickly stay with the forward line quickly. We're not going to talk about every single player, but we'll just go highlight a couple of them. Obviously, as Lewis is here, it'd be interesting to know what he thinks of Havertz at the moment, because
he was terrible. He was fucking terrible. No. He was brilliant again.
Since Graham Potter's dropped him, and this is again a manager decision to obviously drop him deeper and let him have more of a freedom roll off the right and be more effective. What have you thought of that sort of decision on doing that with him?
Yeah, his decision making, his application has got a lot better. I see him impacting games a lot better now. Like some of the passing I see in the second half was brilliant. He's making a lot of chances. Hold up play. He looks like he's finally hit the gym. He's getting a little bit stronger now.
Yeah, I agree.
It's had an impact on him too. Like that. These are all just the sort of things that we've been asking to see from him all season, and we're starting to see it now. Now, I'll be real. It is still 2 games. I want to see this for a lot more. But I'll give credit where it's due. He has been unbelievable the last 2 games, and he's impacting the team on a positive note for the first time in ages. Please, just keep it up. Just keep it up. That's all I want. Consistency.
I think that's the one thing that we can all agree on, and even like myself and others. Like I've always said, like he needs to be more consistent. Like he can't just be turning up from March onwards. You know what I mean? Like,
that's the thing. I've seen March Verts before.
Yeah, I agree with that. I do agree with
that. You can see me, by the way.
Yeah, we can hear you now, Don. What are you saying, bro?
Yeah. So yeah, man. What I would say about Mudryk is, it's clear to me that he's still a raw player. Very raw. He's not a striker either. during the game, his touches were quite sloppy, to be fair. During a lot of the play there, but I did see little bits and bobs here and there where I'm like, right, okay, when this guy gets going, there's going to be a player in there, because when we scored that goal when Felix was ruled offside, he sort of started off that move where he turned on a half shoulder there, ran at them, and then he laid it off to Havertz straight to Felix, goal. So he's definitely got something in him. He's just not ready at the moment, I think. So pretty much what Lewis and Couch said.
What about Kai Havertz for you as well?
Pretty much what Lewis said. For me, obviously Havertz is not a striker, but he's shown a lot the past few games. Pretty much what I've been asking for him. If he's going to play up there, at least show us something from his passing, to his decision making as well. Good goal. Like we was in the stadium and we did not celebrate because we thought it was offside.
He didn't celebrate. The players didn't celebrate.
The players didn't celebrate.
Because we're too used to him being off.
There was 3 goals.
I think he's used to being off though, because even he looked at the line. I was like, he didn't even do it. He's like,
there was actually 3 goals that were ruled offside. Even Mudryk, when he scored his goal, he went mad, and everyone was looking at him like, hurry up. But Havertz, look, he's been playing well the past few games, man. From the key passes he's been making. That I know we're going to speak about Enzo. I think you spoke about Enzo already, Jeb. But
no, we're going to come back to Enzo next.
We'll come back to Enzo, yeah. But yeah, the connection between Enzo and Havertz is starting to build now. And just the key passes that he's been making the past few games. I know you've always sort of defended him, but what it is for me is that we don't see it consistently enough to warrant a start. Hence why we were sort of adamant and to say, look, Havertz, we can't keep playing this guy because we just weren't seeing it enough. But if he keeps playing like this and actually affecting the game the way he has been, I've got no problem with him being in this 11. But the main issue for me was that we just wasn't seeing it. That's what it was.
And from that, obviously, I said it before, Winter Surfer, big up to you, mate. Obviously, thank you for doing some of them shows for me as well while I was away. I thought you'd done a really good job as well. Thank you for that.
No problem.
Big up.
You said something that was quite true, striking, and I listened to it, where you said that with Kai Havertz in the last couple of games prior to the 2 that he's played well, you said that he's not been managed correctly. He's just not been managed correctly. Now, the last 2 games, he's been put in a different position, and he seems to be playing better. All right, it's early doors, but still two good games, very good games for him, and he's scored. I mean, I know you're not his biggest fan, haven't been his biggest fan, but I mean, from what you've seen of him so far, what do you think?
Yeah, he's played very well. I'm with it though with Lewis. It's like because he's played well in the last 2 games doesn't make up for like the 20 previous where he's been like non-existent.
We're in the mud, son.
Yeah, but you got to bear in mind a lot of that he was as a number 9 as well.
But
we've seen him here, isn't it?
I do feel with some other players, I think this formation helps him in terms of the 2 other players beside him are closer to him instead of like in a 4-2-3-1 where they're a bit further out wide. I believe the closer they are, the better they are. And he's played well. And Chelsea fans, football fans are very easy to please, right? All you have to do is play well a lot of the time, right? We're so easy to please, right? That's all we have to do. So, listen, even if it was he played very well yesterday. Played very well the previous game. He did things that we've been crying out for him to do and show.
Decision making, isn't it?
Decision making, his hold up play, his passing is all very good. He got speed back yesterday. There was a pass from Enzo yesterday when Enzo hit it outside of the boot.
Yeah,
and he was behind.
Beautiful pass.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful.
And that was to set up the third. That was the third goal. That was that's how we got the third goal. So listen, it's very easy. I'm not one of these people. Like I'm still Potter out, but I'm still going to praise Potter when he does well, right?
Yeah.
The last 2 games. Yeah. So I'm not the biggest fan of Kai, but Kai's been very well the last 2 games, and that's that. I think you have to be objective and fair if you still think the same way. I agree. But I agree. I also agree with all of what you say about consistency, and even before I agree with that. Consistency is one that we need to do. But let's move away from them and let's go to this guy, because what he did there.
What a jugador.
I mean, look at the smile on his face when he does it. He's like, "Yep, I'm just going to do that." You know what I mean?
You know what I'm pissed off because seeing that in person. Sorry, Jem. Seeing that in person was mad. But it's annoying because we were like, should we celebrate? And then literally as soon as it happens, that was it. Like second half, like whistle blowing sort of thing. So we didn't get a chance to celebrate. But sorry, Couch, go on, bro.
Couch. I mean,
Ooh.
you know what my thoughts are and why I've wanted him for so long specifically. But just what do you want to say?
I mean, you pretty much summed it up right there. You're speechless, man. No, he was fantastic. There's no questions about it. I mean, there's still some things in his game that I think. I mean, I'm not going to shit on the guy today. I thought he was fantastic in possession. I thought that his passing range was unbelievable. Like Andrew said, outside of the boot to play players into space. You know, the switches, the directness, the through balls to get Mudryk on goal, which should have been a goal. So unfortunately, he didn't score that. Everything with ball to feet. When you see Enzo ball to feet, he's incredible. The one aspect of his game, again, I'm just not convinced defensively. And I know, you know, 3 at the back does help him. It liberates him a bit, takes away some of the defensive responsibility. But just his positioning, movement, his tracking, his, you know, when we're in press sequences and stuff like that, he's a little bit too easy to play around. But, you know, in time, if we can get somebody to play next to him that's a little bit more defensively aware, I think that most of that stuff will be snuffed out. But that first half to me was the worry, right? I think the reason why they took off Felix was because that midfield 2 was getting played around a little bit too easily. As much as they are very good in possession and building attacks and getting an identity between the 2 of them, like we were just getting overrun in the midfield. So, you know, that's the only thing that we need. We need to see more of a defensive awareness from in terms of his build-up play and his passing range, unbelievable.
100%. Lewis, you was there with us yesterday. I mean, I feel like he's playing on a handbrake. If this is him on a handbrake, then it's crazy. But I feel like he is on a handbrake in terms of the position and having to be more of the deeper of the 2. But from what he's doing from the deeper role and what you saw yesterday, I mean, how good is this guy?
I went from Mason Mount terrible to this, man. We've all deserved this sort of final third pass, and he is absolutely nuts.
Mad.
And he's playing in a deeper role too. Once we actually get a DM and he can play further forward, it's over. That guy is going to be one of the best midfielders in the world if we pair him with the right midfield. And it's going to happen. I have full confidence of it. He is unbelievable. Some of the passing is like prime Cesc Fabregas. And I just run out of words for him sometimes. He's unbelievable. 120 million is a bargain. And I can't wait to see who we pair him around next season because he's going to be the centerpiece of our midfield.
That that Kovacic goal at the end. I don't know if you noticed. I only saw it yesterday once I watched the highlights. You don't really, when you're at the game, you see the goals and stuff, but you don't really think back of the build-up because you don't get the replays and whatever. But when I saw the replay of that goal, that actually started from the out. And this, he done this a lot yesterday. The ball got played into him. I'm going to get onto that. The ball got played into him, and he would just pass without looking. And he done the same thing again. He just played the ball outside of his foot, ball over the top, and that's when Havertz ran through on goal. He just kept doing that, and that's where it started from Enzo again, knocking the ball over the top, and us on the transitions. It was just absolutely crazy. I mean, Don, what are we saying?
Yeah, I mean, first thing, Coach, I do get it. Like defensively, Enzo isn't the greatest, but I wouldn't say he was bad defensively yesterday. I think we just got outnumbered in there because he was still going in the challenges. He was quite aggressive. He was trying to win the ball back.
Second half was better, but the first half he was getting played around too easily in the first half. I'm telling you. I'll show you guys in my video.
Yeah, no, we were saying it. I was saying it in the ground. Like Leicester. Sorry, they were bossing it in the first half. But I wouldn't say that was him not trying. It was just we were outnumbered in midfield. But yeah, in the second half, he was definitely a lot better. But yeah, from that goal that we scored there with Kova, he was doing that ball constantly to Pulisic when Pulisic came on, and it was the same technique as well outside of the foot. So it's not a fluke what this guy's doing. He's a talented player, man. Like we've got an artist on our hands here with what he's doing with the ball. So it's weird actually seeing someone like this actually creating in midfield because I feel like we've been starved from it. Hence why we went mad in the away end yesterday, just how we're creating these goals.
And this is disgusting. I'm sorry.
It's mad.
That is, I couldn't believe that stat.
That's
I really couldn't believe it.
2 assists already. 2 assists in 6 appearances. Jorginho's got 5 the whole time he's been in the
is
Premier.
unbelievable.
That
That is
picture,
madness.
that picture hurts me.
And do you know what I realized? Do you know what I saw yesterday? Because we were sitting in the second half, the Chelsea were shooting towards the away end, and one thing I noticed is that every time Enzo would get on the ball, Havertz, Mudryk, they were on their bikes straight away. They're trying to make those runs.
Because they knew they were going to get it.
Because they know they're gonna. They know Enzo's always got his head up and he's looking up. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
And the way he just does it as well, it's like effortless. It's just natural for him when he's making these passes, man. So yeah, I can't wait to see a proper DM next to him. Defensively, again, he's not the greatest, but at the same time, he is.
But they're both
not.
try. And that's the thing. I always tell people they're not defensive. When you play Kovacic and Enzo, you shouldn't be looking at defense. I still think they're good interceptors. I think they do get about and do their bit. They're just not defensively switched on as a sitter would be. Does that make sense? So don't get that. When you're playing against a low block team where they're not going to dominate and you're going to have a lot of the ball, I think I'd like to see them too, because you want that ideology of being able to break a team down.
What it is, he makes up for it for being the specialist in creating goals. That's what we've bought him for, right? That's what we've paid all that money for. We're not going to pay that much money for DM, right? We've paid this money to actually get assists from midfield. So yeah, man, Enzo yesterday definitely my man of the match. From time I'm seeing rival fans, my boy is messaging me saying, "Yo, Enzo's a baller, man." You know that these guys would have wished.
Rivals are noticing, noticed.
You know what I mean? Our rivals are starting to notice now. So it's good, man. It's good. He had a good game yesterday.
Yeah, Winter Surfer, Enzo Fernandez.
There's no one in this squad who can pass like him or passes like him. There's no one. No one in this squad who would do those two parts. The assist for Kai, there's no one in this squad who can do that. The outside of the boot, the actual pace and where it dropped for the third goal for Kai Havertz to run onto. There's no one in the squad that can do it. We haven't probably seen a passer like this since Fabregas at this club. I'm sorry, people have tried, but they're just not talented enough. This is natural talent. This isn't something worked on. This is pure natural talent we're looking at, because he's 21 years old. Okay, it's not as if it's like worked in like a Frank Lampard where he learned to do this type of passing. This is naturally put in, and I agree. Now you see the players making it. Someone said it earlier. I apologise. I can't remember who said it. Someone said it literally about 3 minutes ago.
Me.
I was at you. I do apologise, Jim. But they're actually running now. They're running now, right? Instead of like not running or like doing half a run where maybe a pass is going to get through to them. They just got to time their runs a bit better. That's all, and they'll be getting a load of goals. But he's exceptional, man. The South American players, when they come to this league, they're already battle tested in terms of, they don't grow up rich like some other players or like in good backgrounds. They're battle tested. You know what I mean? They grow up on hard streets. They come here and they physically adapt very well. He's another one who's got a low center of gravity as well, like an Eden Hazard and Aguero. It's hard to knock him off the ball as well.
Yeah, he's strong.
You're right. Defensively, could he do a bit more? Maybe. Yeah, sure. I mean, there's this ridiculous thing that people go, "Oh, he gets dribbled past a lot." Okay, that's fine. But if they don't end up in goals, then I'm not worried about that. But I'd like to see him against maybe with a natural DM, maybe a Caicedo. Maybe we go back to Benfica and get his midfield partner that he plays with. You know what I mean? Is it Luis?
Yeah. Or Latvia, who knows?
Yeah, but whoever it is, but I think the formation also benefits him as well. He has to be less defensive because we have a third centre back that can step up, or Cucurella who likes to go to the ball first. But just on Enzo yesterday, he was just sensational. That assist was beautiful, and the Kai finish was also very good as well. The time of the run was very good as well. But there's no way if you put another Kovacic isn't doing that pass. Do you know what I mean? As good as Kovacic was yesterday, he's never doing
Jorginho,
that.
I mean, if he
Jorginho would do it
Jorginho would have tried different technique there.
He's doing it once every 110 games or something like that.
The ball would have been too heavy for Jorginho to lift it up.
Yeah, that's the one thing. The thing with Enzo, it's just the weight of pass. Like we haven't had a guy like that in so long. I think the Fabregas appearances the Fabregas comparisons are true, but even that, like the way to pass and the way that he just delicately puts it over top, like that exception.
It bounced right in front of Kai Havertz, which meant it bounced. The speed meant Kai Havertz was running onto the ball instead of waiting for the ball
to come.
Catch up with him. Yeah, so he could just literally just.
I mean, that finish was class as well. I mean,
oh yeah. The finish
I don't think there's many players in our team that would have loved to go in like that. I think Kai Havertz is already.
Do you know what? Do you know what was so impressive about that pass though? Yeah, do you know what was so impressive about that pass was the fact that Enzo actually waited before playing it. He didn't rush it because he saw Havertz in a good position. He waited first and then he played the pass. So you can see he's switched on as well. He's got that.
Sorry,
he's got that brain.
You mean he was looking where he was going to pass the ball?
Right.
Sometimes we don't look. Sometimes we don't look. That's the thing. He was doing yesterday. He was making passes without looking. I was watching him. I was like, Jesus! Like
this time he's actually looking. Yeah.
And it was right. He was deeper, but he knows where it's weird. He knows where everyone is on the pitch. Right. He receives it deep, and he doesn't take 1 or 2 touches. He just passes it straight away. It's like ding, ding. He done one to Chalobah. The ball came into him from Kovacic, and the Leicester midfield ran at him, and he outside of the foot curled it over their heads all the way over to Chalobah. And I was just like,
and you know what he looks like as well.
That's where his self-awareness comes into it. Where he's probably looking. He's looking
with
to move
Enzo.
ahead,
I'm sure he could have played another 90 minutes after that. Like he looks like he's not covering any ground as well when he's doing it. Do you know what I mean? He finds himself in perfect positions where it looks like he's got all the time in the world. It's just it's such an intelligent footballer.
Someone said he was fat to me. I was like, shut up. He ain't fat. He's all right.
I love to be that fat. I love to be that fat.
Enzo, AJ, before we move away from this, I want to ask you a question, all of you actually. I've got something I want to ask you on Tuchel. I know going back to Tuchel, but Tuchel and Potter. I've got something I want to ask you guys. But Enzo, go on.
Yes, sir. What's up, guys? Big up. No, I'm just glad everybody's in a good mood. You know, I like that. I like the energy right now. Everybody's happy. But in regards to Enzo, you already know, Jem, you've been begging for this player. I've been begging for this player. I remember when the deal was first put down, and there was 2 weeks where we was like, damn, what are we gonna do? What are we gonna do? And then Todd B was like, nah, fuck that. I'm going to get this guy. So Todd B scooped him up, and it's been worth it ever since. He's getting better. I'm sure somebody said, once we get a DM, it's gonna unlock him even more. So I'm just excited. It's great to have a player like this. It's really promising. And that link up with him and Kai and just anybody who's playing up top, he's always looking for that player. So whoever's up there, you got to be ready. You got to be prepared. So it's just nice to have that player.
That's why I think we play Sterling. That's why I think Potter's done that manager switch with Havertz and Sterling or whoever it is, Madrid. I think he's realised that he knows every time Enzo gets the ball and he looks forward, if you've got someone with pace that can make the runs behind, he's going to play that pass. So rather than have Havertz being that guy and the focal point, drop him a little bit deeper so that he can arrive in the box a bit later, which is where he's more effective, and have someone like Sterling who can just use his speed to always get behind and stretch the defense. And you know what I mean? Like, I think it's a tactic. I think we've
real talk. I think Potter, he figured something out. He hit the training ground and he figured something out. He's getting a tune out of just about everybody who's on the field. Before we were saying, why is 5, 6, 7 players underperforming? And now everybody is basically performing to their level.
Interesting. Carzola type is what Joel's saying. All right, you would say that.
I would say more Fabregas. Cazorla was I would say he's better than Enzo on the ball in terms of actually dribbling. Defenders. Dribbling wise, Cazorla was different, man. Left foot, right foot, mad. But yeah, it doesn't take it away from him if you compare him to Fabregas. Fabregas was different.
Do you know what? Let's kill this. Okay, he's not anyone. He's just Enzo Fernandez.
He's just Enzo.
Yeah.
I like that.
So this goes on to my question about these two, and I don't like talking about old managers, but something that I want to hear your points of views on, because I already have my thought process on it. So the last 2 games specifically, we've gone back to the back 3, right? And it's worked, and we're starting to see results again. We saw the back 3 under Thomas Tuchel when it worked, and we looked more comfortable in it. You could probably argue that from what the difference was with what Tuchel had to what we have now. Maybe we have more. We do have more quality options in terms of what Potter has, but we also saw something yesterday where Tuchel used to do this a lot, by the way, where we switch systems in between games, which is where we went from a 3 to a 4. And now the difference when we go into the 4 with Potter is that we have players that are able to play the 4. Mudryk, Madueke, we have dribblers, right? Someone that can come in and slot straight into these things. So my question to you guys is, in terms of what we're seeing or have seen in a short space of time from what Potter's done to what Tuchel had done for a while back then, what is the biggest difference in the way that we're playing, and why do we all of a sudden seem so comfortable in this system again?
First of all, I did like the way that people went, "Oh, he's gone back to Tuchel tactics." No one said anything when Tuchel took over about him going to Conte tactics when he took over. Do you know what I mean? So, I'm just saying it's a very hypocritical stance. Listen, it works.
What's the difference? Is what I'm saying. So what is the difference?
I think the difference is partly the midfield in terms of having an Enzo type player in there. When you have either a combination of any one of the three of Cover, Jorginho, and Kante, who Cover has got good passing, but he doesn't really utilize it that much. He wouldn't do that sort of pass, like I said. He wouldn't do those type of passes really a lot. You've got maybe.
Is it different? Is it different to watch? Is what I'm trying to understand. When you saw Tuchel,
the thing is, I need a bigger sample size than 2 games. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Tuchel's it started off well, and then it sort of didn't end well. Do you know what I mean? Or it fluctuated. And maybe on this one, early stages, unlike Tuchel's one. Tuchel's one was more on the wing back solely, I think, as an attacking threat.
Yes. Okay.
Whether this one encompasses that, but others as well. But like I said,
I feel like on the transition we get everyone involved, whereas before
we're counter-attacking.
Reece James or Chilwell.
I'll tell you what the difference is, Jim. We counter-attack this one. We didn't under Tuchel.
It's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. With Tuchel, it was a pragmatic possession.
Yes.
You know, we kept the ball 65% of the game and slowly tried to, get into the final third, find angles to score goals. But this one is just more direct, and it's because we're playing on the counter. Like,
is that because of more to do with the options we now possess?
Well, yeah, I'm sure that's part of it. Like, Enzo Fernandez on the ball does not play a slow build-up game. He's looking to get people into space immediately.
Yep.
So that is certainly a part of it. But I'm sure that it's also the instruction from the manager too, because it's not just Enzo that's getting on the ball and pushing it forward. You see Felix get on the ball in transition. He's also looking to get it into space. You're seeing when we got how many runners do we have off the ball right now? That's instructional. It can't just be down to 1 and 2 players.
Okay. Don?
Yeah. I think for me, it's good that we're seeing patterns now, Jem. Because one thing that we will say,
you guys got to bounce, but big up,
Lewis. Big up, man.
Big up, bro. Big up. Yeah. What we're seeing now is actually, we're counter attacking, and we're doing it quite effectively as well. Like against Dortmund, I was seeing the ball move from the defense to the attack in like 5-7 seconds max, and I was seeing the exact same thing again yesterday. So I think personnel definitely helps because, like Couch said, Enzo is someone who's got his head up, wants to play the ball forwards. But if you look at the centre backs as well, Koulibaly, he was actually looking to play the ball straight through the midfield and straight to the attackers a few times.
That's like Rudiger, though, wasn't it?
See him. Yeah. Say that again.
It's like Rudiger back for Tuchel, right?
Yeah. Rudiger used to do the same, but what I'm saying is we're seeing it more often now. I think we're sort of leaving that possession style for now, and we're sort of focusing more on the attack side of things. So for me, I think counter-attacking, we look more fluid than what we did under Tuchel. But again, I need to see more of a sample size because, the game against Leeds wasn't the best. It was not the best game, but we had to get that result. Against Dortmund, better performance, and we carried it on yesterday. So for me, we look good on the counter attack. I think that's what the main difference is. But definitely need to see a lot more from the team going forward before I can actually say Potter deserves a chance.
That is a problematic comment.
I'll say it again. I'll say it again.
That's all it is. But
I'll say it
they
again.
don't want to criticize him, but they don't want to big him up. That's what it is.
I'll do this, Matty. Did you question Tuchel when he done this doing Conte tactics? I'll question you about that. Did you criticize him for that? Did you downplay it? Because let's face it. Do you know what? Let's do this, man. Tuchel's Champions League win is based in a 3-4-3. Maybe Conte has to do with our Champions League win, right, guys? You know, because Tuchel was using his tactics. Yeah, I could say that. I don't think it's true, but you know what I mean. It's like going.
It's not always about specifically. It's not always about.
But Jem, managers use the same tactics as previous managers. Okay, it happens, right? Or they use the same formations, but they put a different spin on it.
Yep.
Tuchel's was more defensive. I think Tuchel's 3-4-3 is more defensive than even Antonio Conte's 3-4-3. Do you know what I mean?
I don't know about that.
In the first season, we were more attacking under Conte.
Yeah,
when he switched to a 3 at the back.
Yeah, I agree.
The second season is just a complete and utter write-off. Do you know what I mean? But that main comment is like I said before, I never heard anyone question Tuchel about using Conte tactics when he went to 3 at the back. So if you don't like Potter, we're not. And I've seen a few comments in the chat. We're not comparing Potter versus Tuchel as a manager.
No.
We're not like in terms of what they've won. We're just comparing how they're using their 3-4-3
system. Yeah,
and I think we have to be fair to both that. See, there we go. See, that'll be that's the narrative now as well. See, that's what I mean.
Plus, he had control.
No, because he used his own style. Plus, he had control over his players. So we're saying Potter doesn't have control over his players. What we're saying there, you know.
Like I've said before, Andrew, right? For me, the problem wasn't the players aren't playing for the manager. It was more, I don't know what he's trying to do with these players. But you can see after Dortmund, like there's a togetherness now, and even yesterday, you can see that there's a togetherness within the team. So I don't think it's anything to do with that. I think you're reaching a bit, Matty, when you say he had control over the players. That's not an issue here. It was more we're not seeing a style of play, and what I'm seeing from Potter now is what I was expecting to see from him early on in the season. So I was disappointed as to why I wasn't seeing it, because clearly we're seeing it now, right? So
yeah, but it's harder. Like I'm not really gonna swear for this guy, but like. The 4 at the back is a new system for a lot of players in this team, right?
Yes.
3 at the back is something that we've rehearsed for years on end. The patterns of play are almost ingrained. You know what I mean? Like, it's easier to play in that system with the players that we have, especially on the counter, because the players that we bought, let's be real, the players that we have, that we bought recently, the Raheem Sterlings, the the Mudricks, the Felix, those guys are better on the counter. Like, if they can get in an open space, that's when they're most deadly. So it makes more sense to play them on the counter. You know what I mean? So I think it's a bit of both, but I think that the patterns of play that we've already established in the 3-4-3 previously makes it easier for us to adapt to this.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think also the other thing you look at with the difference in styles is what I think when the server said is that even though it's a 3-4-3, it can always be played differently, and like you have different profile players, you have different ideologies in terms of how you break teams down. You have different patterns of direct patterns of play if there is any. The Tuchel 3-4-3 was more possession based, and we controlled games more. The Graham Potter one is more countering, but at the same time, we don't control the games as much. At the moment.
And Jem, we haven't even got a free flowing Reece James yet into this this new 3-4-3. Yeah. So we got Chilwell playing well. And that's
He's playing well, isn't he, Chilwell?
Good to see, and he wound them up. It was, and if anyone tries to find it, try and find Wesley Fofana's celebration. Like, I think it was the third goal when he just jumps into Koulibaly. I think he's already been subbed, but he runs on the pitch, literally jumps into Koulibaly's arms.
Jem, but then what you'll realize now is that Potter's actually, his in-game management has improved a lot, because when he can see that we're not controlling the game, like yesterday, he went back to a back 4 and put Gallagher in that midfield to pack it out. And let me just say something, right? Conor Gallagher has been good these past few games. That
was a big decision by Potter, by the way. That was a massive decision.
That was a big decision. But yesterday, he was actually effective. I think he was one of the reasons why we actually ended up winning the game the way that we did. Because, I don't know, maybe Yeah, he cleared it off the
Yeah,
line.
he did. Yeah, Kepa made a
He-
mistake, didn't he? Really? And then
Yeah, his decision making was good. He brought a little bit more energy. We weren't getting bossed in the second half the way we was in the first. So yeah, no, that was a good decision there to actually bring him on and change the shape of the team. So I think where we might lose that control when we've gone to that 3-4-3, Potter's actually able to revert back to a back four to get more control when we're getting bossed in midfield, and that's something that he was doing at Brighton. He used to change the formation in game.
Against
So
Dortmund,
it's good that he's doing it now.
Against Dortmund, if you remember, he changed it again in the second half when he went to 3-5-2.
Yeah.
So he put Gallagher in there, and that makes more. See, the reason I was like on the Leeds one, he brought Gallagher on, but he never changed from a 3-4-3 against Leeds. So he pushed Gallagher higher up, and that's like, there's no point pushing Gallagher higher up because it's like when you try and run, it's like
he did the same yesterday.
He loses oxygens and he just becomes like a dog on zoomies. Do you know what I mean? It's just like running around.
He actually went to a 3-5-2 yesterday, Andrew, when he brought Gallagher on. We had Kai and Mudryk up top.
That's obviously a tactic because he's done it twice in a row now.
Someone said in the group that someone said in our group chat yesterday, I can't remember who it was, I think it was Nomadic, that Gallagher seems to be his John Obi Mikel.
Yeah, no doubt.
But maybe it's just as simple as that. Gallagher is willing to do this and take instruction and understands his role in this. I know he turned down a move like to Everton and something like that, and maybe there's still a possibility he leaves in the summer. As of right now,
well, I'll be honest.
Gallagher probably Potter probably finds in him that this guy's willing to do exactly what I ask him to do. And not overthink things.
I think what Potter's has been showing in the last two games now, and starting to see. Hopefully, it continues, and consistency again comes with the manager as well as much as the players. Is we're starting to see that it seems like he's understanding the players he has to a degree, like in terms of usage, and how to like maybe get him into a system where it balances. And I'm talking about when you look, we have not spoke about the defense because let's be serious, our defense always seems to just be good eventually, doesn't it? It bows us out.
But Cucurella and Koulibaly have had stick this season, Jim, haven't they?
They have, and
Koulibaly yesterday was
he was very good
man.
yesterday.
He was very good.
Wesley Fofana helps massively. I'm seeing a leader in him. I'll be honest with you. From what I saw yesterday, the way he was, do you know what it was as well, Don? He was there, like the energy. When the fans' energy changes, also people don't realize like when the fans get behind the team as much as they have the last two games, the energy of the players just change as well. It's like everything. We've been so dull the last 2 months.
Yes,
and it's just like we blame the players and Potter and whatever, but we've been so dull as well, and it's just not helped. You know what I mean? And it's like
it's a tandem. It's a tandem. It's a tandem thing.
Yeah,
the players have to play well and win. Make us happier, and we then reciprocate that back. Do you know what I mean?
The truth is in the name. It's called supporters, man. It's right there for you.
Yeah.
We need to see something.
If you look at Arsenal, what they're doing right now, if you speak to any Arsenal fans that actually go to the Emirates, right, they're saying that stadium's been rocking since last season. And look how they're playing. Do you know what I mean? They can go down a goal or two, and they're
winning games in the 95th minute, aren't they? You know, and like they're getting things across the line.
They're fans. So I think everyone needs to just carry on doing what we're doing right now, man. Playing our part.
Champions League,
boy.
Depends on the draw.
Game by game.
See the draw.
That draw is crucial.
When they do the path to the final
Friday
from this draw onwards. So you see
on the
17th of March.
Next week Friday. Yeah.
But what they do is they do the quarterfinal and the semi-final, potential semi-final draw as well. So you see a path to the finals. So then I need to see. I could give me Milan, bro. I'll take Milan again.
I'll take Milan. I want to avoid Benfica.
We piped them. We were crap. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, we did pipe them all crap.
So I definitely don't want Bayern. I think they're favourites to win it. I do not want.
You don't want Bayern, and you don't want. I'll be honest with you. I don't even partly want Real Madrid as well, just because like
Man City as well.
They're playing Liverpool though, aren't they? They're not through yet, are they? Still, they've got to be. I mean, they are.
They're through, man.
They'll be
no way.
Yeah.
I'll just see. I mean, Enzo, AJ, anything you want to say, mate?
I mean, just the difference on Potter's tactic and Tuchel tactics. I think Tuchel just values like control of the game a little bit more than Potter does. You know, Potter's a little bit more open to having the opposing team attack us a bit, and then we could hit him on the counter. He just appreciates the counter a bit more. I think Tuchel, and that goes with the Jorginho role. How Jorginho was so crucial is he just wants to hold possession. That's also a form of defense as well. So I think, most of the game he just wanted to hold possession. I know it was slow. We have to do, in order for us to score, we have to do 70, 80 passes just to score. Now we have people who can carry the ball, 15, 20 yards. Enzo can spot a 30-yard pass. We just have a little bit different of profile of players that really affects how the game plays out.
100%, mate. I didn't know that we were playing Everton at 5:30 on Saturday. I didn't know if it was 3 o'clock.
And then it's a glorious international break, Jem, to start momentum.
A glorious one.
Why have we done that? It's like as if we've got enough games to play. We've got games.
Why do you think, Jem?
I know, but we've not even
we
played
just had the World
games.
Cup.
When are we playing Liverpool at home? I've still got
Well, we
my
had an
ticket was taken
international
away
break.
for that.
Before the World Cup, we had an international break in September. It didn't make sense,
I don't know where my ticket is for Liverpool home. That was last year, and if they delayed it, didn't they? I don't even know what's going on. Like, am I getting my ticket for Liverpool home? What's going on? Are we playing this game?
But we win next week. We get to 40 points. So
no, and we stay 10th still.
I'm popping champagne at 40 points. I'm just letting you guys know from now. But what do you guys do going forward? Like, are you sticking with 3 at the back for the
season?
It's a lot, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think that's our shape, anyways. To be honest, this is the most comfortable shape.
He's found a good formula. It's winning.
What he needs to do now as well is, because we're not in much competitions, and obviously it seems like we're playing once a week. What he needs to try and do is try and give minutes to Kante, building up to the Champions League as well, because I think we're going to need Kante for the Champions League.
I don't want Kante. This week I don't want Kante even pictured in training, because that terrorist Deschamps would pick him even over if he had training sessions. I don't. He's one of the reasons Kante's injured all the time. Yeah. And he's picking this guy and playing him injured. I don't want him. I don't even him. You know what? If I go Kante, I'd give him a week off. I think
he's got international break anyway. Can he not just have like a couple 20 minutes?
Just go. Just that. I don't even picture near Cobham. I don't really see. Actually, go on holiday. Go on holiday where there's no signal and no one can contact you by phone. Just go.
Who would you drop for Kante in the lineup? Say Kante was fit for the next game. Who would you drop?
Kovacic.
Are you dropping somebody?
I think Jim's right. I think you have to build up his minutes. I don't want him thrown in.
You have to build up his minutes. Yeah.
I think you have to build it up, and then it becomes a good rotational.
But that's what I was going to say. Kovacic and Kante are both quite injury prone anyway. So rather than playing them till they run to the ground and get injured, just utilize their minutes and mix them, switch them between the two. Enzo, he seems like he don't need a break. Do you know what I mean? So
he's never had an injury or something like that. I saw a tweet about that earlier. Man. We shouldn't be tweeting.
He's a gamer, man. He's a gamer.
You can see by the way he plays, he's intelligent in all aspects of it.
Oh, by the way,
I said that before. I don't think you was here, AJ. I said with Enzo, he could have literally played another 90 minutes after the game.
Yeah.
Jem,
no wasted energy.
Yeah.
You mentioned those 2 challenges yesterday.
It was what they never got yellow cards for.
That ref was a fucking joke.
I know. It was
a silly, man.
But at this point, I'm not shocked anymore when it comes to Chelsea. It's like we were getting yellow cards. Havertz got a yellow card.
Where's our apology?
I'm actually more shocked that when we do get penalties awarded, when we actually get the call. I'm actually more shocked by that than I am not the no calls.
Disgusting.
So when we get back from the international break on the 1st, we've got Aston Villa, Liverpool at home, and Wolves away and Brighton away. Sorry, I ain't finished yet. This is at April. Listen to this, right? Jesus. Yep. First, let me get this up. Fucking hell, I didn't know that.
United, and then we've got Arsenal.
Oh my
the same week. Madness.
This is mad. This is where it comes back to back. This is going to be a big April. So we've got Aston Villa on the 1st, right? And then we play Liverpool on the 4th, 3 days later. And then again, 4 days later we've got Wolves, and then we play Brighton at home, and then we play Man United away, and then we play Brentford at home, and then we play Arsenal.
This is our season right here.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's 8 games in 1 month.
Oh, by the way, it's the two legs of the quarterfinals will be during that time as well. Right?
Yeah, that's when we need N'Golo Kante. I'm telling you now, that period there, and that's without the Champions League as well.
Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah.
That's 4 or 5 teams ahead of us too, so we have to win those games.
Mate, this is where we need Kante. This period. Him and Kovacic are gonna have to be switched around in between these games.
It's 9 games in about 29.
The thing is, I'm not even worried about Liverpool. As much as they've got a good attack, their midfield's abysmal, man. I'm not worried about them. It's more United and Arsenal that I'm looking at.
I'm not worried
Everyone else, that should be 3 points as long as we carry on doing what we're doing.
Not worried about Arsenal. We're going to do, you know what we done to Tottenham that time at the bridge where we were going to win the league and Hazard scored that goal. Remember that top corner, and then they lost the league. I've got a feeling saying like that's going to happen.
I wouldn't say worried because when we played Arsenal, they beat us by a goal and we had flipping Mount, Gallagher, these guys. We were awful that day. I think we'll give them a good game. By then, we should have hopefully built a lot more chemistry as well.
I'm more worried about Man United than I am Arsenal. I just think Man United at the moment.
No, the thing is, with Man United, it's Casemiro and Rashford. With Arsenal, it's all over the pitch. Do you know what I mean?
Not really.
That's the main difference.
They
get goals. They get goals all over. That's the thing, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you have to bear in mind as well. I can't remember when the semi-finals of the FA Cup are due to take place. So that Man United game might not
pushed,
happen.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I'm just saying, and Man United, we have no idea what shape Man United are going to be in then. So they've got to play Europa League games as well as an FA Cup game next week and other league games and stuff like that. Their squad, past like 16 players, is not
tough like every team, man.
It's not deep.
If we're playing 8 or 9 games, then that means everyone else is. It's going to be a lot of football.
Yeah, you'll probably see teams are playing more than 9 games.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because like it's just mad.
It is. And on that note, we've got the Arsenal game, which is kicking off now. Let's go and watch Fulham beat them comfortably. 2-0.
Please.
I just need a draw.
Jesus is back in the squad as well, man.
Yeah, they'll lose. I hope they lose, mate. I really do. I'm waiting for them to lose.
I'm praying.
Everybody watch Paulinho too. Let's see how he plays.
Yeah,
watch Paulinho. There's no Paulinho. Suspended. He's not playing.
They've lost him. Oh,
that's a problem.
That's a big problem. Big problem.
Why is it? Have you noticed this with Arsenal? They always seem to get this little bit of like, when you go into winning leagues,
it's working out for them, man.
They played Leicester with no Madison. They played Leicester with no Madison, and look at him yesterday. He was dangerous.
Yeah, he was the only one causing us problems.
It's true.
Yeah, they keep getting luck.
Let's see, guys. Smash the likes, subscribe to the channel. Let's get these likes, like I said, up before you leave. If you've not hit the thumb, subscribe, and. I mean, we ain't playing till Saturday, so I'm sure we'll do a show in between talking about Mason Mount's contract or someone else.
He was fully fit.
Before you can't leave on that note, man. Like honestly, it is peak right now for this guy, man. It is peak, man.
Oh, we'll get some sort of Chelsea
because of the contract shit. Like the way the team is playing with this guy out of the lineup right now is making the situation even more peak, man. For me,
his contract negotiations are not good with the way the team's playing.
He better read the room.
He better read the room.
He better read that room, man. I'm telling you.
Better read the room. Listen, we'll talk about him maybe. Well, I'm sure a transfer talk or something will come up. We've got the match preview to do for Everton as well. We'll think of some bits to do through the week. But big up to you guys. Enjoy yourself. Enjoy the win. 3 wins in a row for Chelsea on, going into the Everton game next Saturday as well. Can they make it 4? We'll see.
Jem, our goal of the month competition is going to be better this month.
A goal of the month competition goes to Enzo.
Probably that Kai goal. Or no, Chilwell.
And Kovacic, man, that finish was crazy.
My God.
Oh, that was oof.
Yeah, that was cool.
All 3 of them goals were volleys, like pretty much off the air. Like,
Volleys, half volleys.
They were all.
How far offside was Mudryk, by the way? Because we couldn't see it in the ground.
It's not. They didn't even really show it, but it didn't look like much. It looked like marginal.
My guy ran away, did a knee slide.
And that's the other thing too. I don't trust this like offside ruling, to be honest. The fact that they don't even show you the replay or show you where the line is or anything like that, like they do in the Champions League.
You know what, Kat?
Suspect to me, man.
All the fans when he done that knee slide was like, like he was having such a buzzy time, and we looked behind him. There was no players running. There was no players running. There was no players running to him, right? And he's just run off on his own. He skids it, and we all went,
Even Cover's goal was getting checked, and we was all sitting there like, oh shit.
Word.
And then we just saw this. I was like, yes, come on.
It's not that. Mudryk slid into us like that as well. We're all like, oh. Wow.
Honestly, the Drogba celebration on his birthday too was so sick. It's just so bad. It's just so unfortunate
So
that
annoying.
didn't count.
You know what? The guy
It
behind
was-
me went. The guy behind me was so funny. He's like an old fella. He went. Why is he sliding like that? It's offside. He's just like, I was like, he thinks he's scored. He thinks he's scored. Poor Mudryk. Maybe he'll get his goal soon. But he got an assist, right? 007
Yep.
in the
Thank
mud.
God.
In the
No
mud. 007 in
That's
the mud.
something.
They're trying to get
Yeah.
Noni now. I saw a few tweets about that. They're trying to go for Noni now. And I'm
Oh,
like,
wow.
what is wrong with this Man United fan base?
They're reaching now.
They're reaching, innit?
Guys, big up yourself. Smash the likes. And we'll see you again very soon. Up the Chelsea. And maybe we can start seeing
Yep.
Kai Havertz is the best on earth again soon. And who knows? You know, it might happen.
Hey.
Peace out.